do what I want, bitch. Yeah, I have sex and I don't use protection. It's my hot body, I'll do what I want. I don't go to school and I kill people. Whatever, I'll do what I want.
Good evening. Hey, Rabbit. This is going to be a fairly quick stream. I was going to do a video, but then I thought it'd be easier just to stream and go through this real quick. This is a sports focus, but focus more than just sports. So we're going to bring up a video, watch a couple videos, and kind of talk about what's going on. The Cincinnati Bengals were playing the Buffalo Bills this evening on Monday Night Football. Oh, my mic's going to get really loud. I apologize. And during this game, a Bills player named Damar Hamlin, a defensive back, took a relatively routine hit from wide receiver Higgins for the Bengals. Stood up, everything seemed to be fine, stumbled a little bit, and then hit the ground pretty hard. So definitely not an upbeat stream. I thought it was appropriate to cover it, and I really wanted to, bring in the information. I will speculate a little bit, and we'll watch some stuff that supports that speculation. And some players' reactions. He appears to be in critical condition at a local hospital. Hang on, sorry, trying to get everything together. Everybody's saying that he suffered an episode of cardiac arrest. Now, we know what that means. Can't say it here, but wait, this is all too common for a young man in his 20s recently. But I don't want to get banned. Valhalla would yell at me. What's up, Rabbit? Pixelated, good to see you. And Weird Debbie. If you are squeamish, there's not any blood. There's nothing crazy, but it's hard to watch. So just viewer discretion. What's up, Linda? Viewer discretion. If you don't like things like that, probably not the right stream for you, just so we know. And again, this is going to be a relatively short stream. Was just going to do a video, decided not to. It was easier just to stream it. So here we are. Oops.
Wow, another devastating.
Oh, I knew I had that muted for a minute, or for a reason. So that was the hit. Relatively routine, and he collapses. So nothing about the hit. I was a 4-sport athlete in high school. I played college hockey. I played football. Nothing about this hit makes me like, oh my God, but then again, crazy stuff happens on the football field, and the hits that you don't know can do weird things to you. So that is the Bills quarterback, Josh Allen, obviously shooken up. They immediately came onto the field and performed CPR, the medical staff. And we do have a recent update, and we'll go through that article really quickly. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But Again, there's nothing really about that hit that has me like, wow, that's because of a hit, you know. So here's another video that I was going to watch, and we'll watch and discuss. And this video is actually from a doctor who is breaking it down and talking about it. So
what we just witnessed tonight is one of the most rare things we can see in sports medicine, as Damar Hamlin went down with what appeared to be cardiac arrest after taking this hit on the field.
So that's, oops, shit. Sorry, guys.
What we just witnessed tonight is one of the most rare things we can see in sports medicine, as Damar Hamlin went down with what appeared to be cardiac arrest after taking this hit on the field. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Suter, and
so he is a doctor, and we'll see what he has
on this
to
channel,
say.
I try to teach you about the sports medicine world and give you some insight into what we see on the field. What we saw happen tonight is not related to any sort of vaccines. This is almost certainly something called commotio cordis, an extremely rare condition that's one of those things that we typically only think we're going to read about in textbooks. Essentially, what can happen is if you have a blunt trauma to the chest that occurs at exactly the right time in the cardiac electrical cycle, your heart can be sent into cardiac arrest.
That's kind of interesting. There's always a concern when you're diagnosing somebody over the internet about ethical questions. I just thought it'd be interesting. Here's the first video I saw out. So
Hamlin comes in here, we can see this square hit to the front of his chest. We see him get back up momentarily before ultimately collapsing back down to the ground and requiring CPR on the field. This is a tracing of our heart's electrical activity. Basically, this is one cycle of the heart squeezing. Starts off.
Okay, just pausing so that we don't get terribly struck. Of course, they're being really quiet about it, so I'm not 100% sure. So, but they are required to in the NFL. So.
With this P wave, which is the electrical activity of the atrium at the top of the heart squeezing, then the QRS complex, which is going to be the ventricles acting. But then the last phase is this T wave, where the ventricle basically depolarizes and kind of resets to get ready for the next cycle. For commotio cordis to happen, you have to suffer this blunt trauma to the chest at exactly the right moment.
So it can't be the V, but it has to be perfect. What's up, Kaiser? Brother, you want a link? I'm not going to be on long, but I'll send you a link just in case. Fuck, where are you at, Kaiser? There you are. Don't feel obligated. It's just there if you want it, buddy. Yeah, so the right, down to the right millisecond. Oh, okay.
Specifically on this upstroke of the T wave, in order for the heart to then be sent into this arrhythmia and subsequent cardiac arrest. This is one of those things that not only do you have to have a high enough force, but it has to happen within milliseconds of a time window, because if that impact comes at any other time in this electrical cycle, you're fine. You don't go into this. But when it happens at just this right time during this upstroke of the T wave, and if it's high enough, then you can have this thing called commotio cordis.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. So we had a player, and I'm not saying he died because we don't know yet, but we had a player in Detroit that died on the field. And I believe that was the last person to die on the field. So, yeah, right? It couldn't be the V because it was just the right millisecond.
We typically think of it happening in baseball players whenever they get hit in the middle of the chest with a hard thrown ball. But unfortunately, that looks like what is most likely to have happened here with Hamlin. Treatment like this is obviously CPR and defibrillation as quickly as possible, because this can absolutely be a life-threatening thing. Again, this is not something that people should go speculate about vaccines or anything like that causing this cardiac arrest.
Don't do that.
There was a clear contact, a clear trauma, and I think a clear reason why, unfortunately, this happened for Hamlin. My thoughts and prayers go out to the player, go out to his family, everybody else.
All right, let's not listen to this guy anymore. Oops. So I thought this was interesting. And I'm not sure we're going to watch all the way through, but we'll start it and see where it goes. These are other NFL players that were watching the game and had their inputs. So, yeah, the wax on your surfboard's always safe and effective. Pray, pray, pray for Damar Hamlin. That's his name, Damar Hamlin. Obviously, there's some concern. These are all different NFL players, so. It is, and if you haven't had 30 at least, then there's something wrong with you. Oh, I don't know that we need that either. So a lot of prayers. This is bad. This is really bad. Scary man. So they're all parroting basically the same topic. I don't know what else you could say, honestly. Well, the Bengals won if they, Jonathan, if they don't continue the game. They have postponed the football game for the time being. So, and this is the last article we have on it. Bills Damar Hamlin collapses on field. Versus Bengals on Monday Night Football. Buffalo safety in critical condition. A scary scene unfolded during the first quarter of Monday night's game between the Bills and Bengals. With 5:58 remaining in the opening quarter, Bills safety Damar Hamlin was injured after tackling Bengals wideout T. Higgins. Hamlin initially stood up after making the tackle, but quickly fell to the ground, as we saw. The league has officially postponed the game. Hamlin was on a stretcher and was in the process of being placed into an ambulance before he was administered CPR on the field for several minutes. Yes, he's 24. And I believe so. We'll get to that. That's at the bottom here. Excuse me. He was given oxygen upon entering the ambulance, which transported him to University of Cincinnati Medical Center. They also have, help me out, Jonathan. What's down there? Cleveland Clinic. Well, that's Cleveland, so obviously it's in the name. But pretty good hospital. So, NFL statement on the Bills-Bengals game. Tonight's Bills-Bengals game has been postponed after Bills' Damar Hamlin collapsed. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announced. Hamlin received immediate medical attention on the field and independent medical staff and local paramedics. He was then transported to a local hospital where he's in critical condition. Yeah. That's Grim, we just watched a video a couple minutes ago from a doctor that was talking about that. So and yeah, I mean, if he lives, that would be permanent damage for sure. Our thoughts are with Damar and the Buffalo Bills. We'll provide more information as it becomes available. When I was originally watching it, I didn't think that he made it. After my initial, and that is based on no medical training or knowledge, that was my initial snap decision. It did not appear to me like he made it. So, yeah, that's crazy. The NFL has been in constant communication with the NFLPA, which is in agreement with postponing the game. Good. They should. The The game was temporarily suspended after coaches Sean McDermott and Zach Taylor spoke on the field. The NFL later made the decision to postpone for the evening. Play was initially supposed to resume 5 minutes after Hamlin was taken off the field before the decision was made to suspend play. Yeah, and we watched, if you go back to the beginning of the live stream, it's only been like 15. We watched the video, and we'll probably close with it just one more time, just to make sure, because I know some people have jumped in. So Hamlin, 24, was in the middle of his second season with the Bills. He earned a spot in the Bills' starting lineup this season after appearing in 14 games as a rookie. Hamlin played collegiately at Pitt, where he tallied 276 tackles and 6 interceptions. We will provide more information on Hamlin as soon as more news is available. And I was going to check just one more time before I logged off. Uh, 1 hour. So 1 hour ago, I guess I can just share this. From Fox Sports affiliate, I'm told Damar Hamlin has a pulse, but is not breathing on his own. He's being transported to UC, needed AED and CPR on the field. So that's probably not great. Has been intubated and listed in critical condition. And this is a young man. This is a young man. This is a very healthy man. He's a corner, so they're the, I don't know if you know anything about football, but they're usually the skinniest, fastest, most in shape guys on the field. So, all right, so we'll watch this one more time. Yeah, Linda, I tend to agree with you. Like I said, we have a history of it prior. We had a freak accident. Yeah. It was a normal hit, and that was my original impression. So we'll watch it through maybe once. So a hard hit, but not something that's insane. And then he's out. So from the other side, and then we'll stop watching it. So he gets up and then gone. And obviously you can see that these guys have played football for a long time. And you can see Josh Allen is noticeably shaken. So Josh Allen is the quarterback for the Bills. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by. If I get any more updates, I'll community post them or potentially just jump in a video. Right, Linda. Yeah, that's for sure. He did. It was a requirement in the NFL. So, and some of the players like Aaron Rodgers didn't have to, but he is an elite of the elites. This guy was working his ass off just to get a job, and that's a rough spot to be in because you don't want to make waves because Aaron Rodgers he's not going to be replaced, but him, he could easily be cut and tossed, and they'll find somebody else that can play just like him. And they were facing a lawsuit. Yeah. Well, there was a players agreement. Yeah. Plus Rodgers lied about it and said, yeah. So, yeah. Keep an eye out for Maddie. If I'm not, I have to be up really early tomorrow. So, yeah, I thought it was kind of shady what he did, but keep an eye out for Maddie or myself. one of us will cover it for sure if there's any news. If it's something I can quickly cover in a community post, I'll just throw that out there real quick. If it's not, then I will come live and we'll talk about it. So that is it for me. I really appreciate you guys jumping in here on short notice. I got to get back to other work. Lovely. And I will see everybody tomorrow. You guys have a great day.